Hey folks, welcome back to Maypole Farm, and we are back in the sugar beet harvester. So I asked last time if any of you had a preference as to how we continued. No one seemed to express the words. Yes, no one seemed to express a preference that I saw. So we're going to just crack on from where we were, and that's because I haven't had time to play this save anymore in between recording videos. So I've been busy doing a little bit of kin lag, a little bit of project motor racing, a little bit of Timberborn, and a little bit of not playing video games and just kind of resting and recovering. I know. How about that, hey? Watched some films at the weekend, just kind of relaxed with Mrs. D. It was kind of nice because I'm back traveling again. Not really traveling far. It's just because work's really busy. I'm staying away at the office to try and cut down on some of the fatigue of commuting. So yeah, back doing that fun thing again. And by fun, I mean not at all fun. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. We watched. I'm not entirely sure of the name of the film. It's the John Wick universe set film that's got something ballerina in the title. It's the girl assassin John Wick themed thingy. It was quite good. I will admit I was doing other stuff as I was watching it. I was playing video games. I was either playing Farm Sim, because I was playing a bit of kin lag at the weekend, or playing Timberborn, or doing modding stuff for Project Motor Racing. So yeah, one of those three things was happening at the same time, but it was kind of a cool film. We watched something else as well, but Mrs. D watched Wicked. I wasn't watching that. I knew she liked it. I saw it was on one of the movie channels that we pay for, so I recorded it for her. I know, earn husband points. I think she's seen it a ton of times anyway, but meant I felt less bad concentrating on other things while she was watching a film she enjoyed. It is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, so that was my weekend. Hope you had a good weekend. I had a fairly relaxed weekend. I needed it. I did need it. Unfortunately, I'm kind of in a very, very busy work phase, and that means my weekends are largely spent letting my brain recover. Because my brain is very tired after work stuff at the moment. And it's going to be for the next probably like 4 weeks or so. Things are pretty manic at work. It will then settle down back to normal for a bit. That's how things go, isn't it? It's always a little bit cyclical. I don't know. But yeah, such is life, eh? Until I can afford to retire, life's going to be like that. Yeah. I've been pondering something, and I want your opinion, because some of you use this mod. This mod being the red tape mod. I was introduced to the creator of the red tape mod at Llama. I have installed on not this save, but on kin lag his garage mod. Or I've installed it on here and not activated it yet because I'm dumb. Now I'm pretty sure Kartek's playing with it, but I got to admit I'm not keeping up with his videos because there's only so many videos you can watch at the moment, and my current passion is AI videos. Not. I'll tell you about those in a minute if I haven't talked about them recently. And blacksmithing videos. So yeah, there's only so many hours in the day to watch YouTube, and at the moment I'm not watching any farm sim videos at all. Which kind of makes it hard to rabbit on about farm sim when you make farm sim videos. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Kartek's using the red tape mod. But are any of you guys using it? Because I'm kind of curious. Partly because it has crop rotation in it. You guys know I love crop rotation. And I'm not sure, I've not seen any Facebook posts from Paint the Farm recently on crop rotation. Because yeah, he's working on a crop rotation mod. But I haven't checked his Facebook page recently, so that could be on me. That could be on me and the Facebook algorithm not recommending his stuff. We'll see. But also it sounds kind of interesting, you know, because it adds in that layer of red tape, of I'm pretty sure subsidies, but also taxes and other stuff as well. So maybe it would make it interesting again. I'm pretty sure I said in the videos on here, this game is not hard. Yes, I've got barely any money in the bank, but that's because I've just rented a giant sugar beet harvester and bought a field. There are ways of artificially constructing it to be a little bit harder. Some of the rules VF uses make it a bit harder because he puts time crunch in. You know, I haven't watched his stuff in a very long time, but he was one of the creators that got me interested in farm sim. He was one of the creators that got me interested in making videos. I've spoken about that in the past. And his, like, I don't even know if he still does it, but his old FS19 realism experiment where he would only ever play on ×5 and he couldn't start work before a certain time and he would have to stop at a certain time. That time crunch made some element of difficulty. But this game is not intrinsically hard in the way that you can make, and I'm going to compare it to Timberborn because it's a game that I play that can be hard. Not all of you like that game, I get that, but that's a game where I have played and I have failed. It's massively frustrating when you fail, and I have constructed scenarios on there where I have failed, whether that's because the map is hard or the settings that you use make it really hard. And I've repeatedly over and over played those scenarios that are hard to try and work out how to beat them because that makes my brain itch. This game is not hard. And maybe that's some of what's taken the joy away from it now. It's one of the reasons I used to love playing with Maze Plus, is it added difficulty to the game. It was one of the things that used to scare me about Maze Plus, is it added complexity. But actually, that was one of the things that I found that made the game more fun. Now, it didn't make it hard in the sense of, oh no, I'm not going to succeed. Now, we could make it hard by me not remembering to turn crop destruction on. That makes it a little bit harder because we get a little bit less crop. Well, I think things like having to consider what crops you're planting because it's going to affect your yield, that makes it more interesting for me. Being penalized for things makes it more interesting for me. And at the moment, if we look, I'm pretty sure my animals are not the best cared for. Being penalized for that would make it more interesting. Would I get frustrated? Yes. But maybe that would make it more fun for me again. Now, maybe the counter to that is that a farm sim save runs for a lot longer, but does it really? I put so many hours into some of the Timberborn saves that I play off camera. I don't know. Yeah. I'm trying to think of, so question one, red tape. Are you using it? And I know I'm doing the same thing as I did in the last video, and that's maybe not interesting, but a lot of you don't actually watch the movie picture. You, for some reason, want to listen to me ramble away as I talk utter bollocks for 30 minutes. But it's like, and it's interesting, I've been seeing other people talking about not playing this game anymore for months and months and months. And as a content creator that founded his channel playing this game and having people that are interested in here because I played this game, it's really hard sometimes when I spoke about when I started playing this save. This was the save that started to get me interested in playing the game anymore. And I'm trying to think what's the thing that's going to make it more interesting again. And maybe mods like red tape are the thing that are going to do that. Maybe I should enable the features of is it realistic animals? Realistic livestock, so that we have animals dying and getting sick, so that I have to deal with that. Maybe yeah, because I'm sitting here saying the game's too easy and I'm not going to fail, and maybe that's because I'm making it too easy. Maybe I'm the problem. I'm the problem, it's me. Isn't there a song in that? Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe over time I've made this is not scripted, but you know I don't script stuff. Maybe this is me coming to the realization that maybe over years of playing this game I've got lazy, and in getting lazy I've made the game too easy, and in doing that it's not so much fun. Because the fun was in the challenge of how am I going to do this when I can't afford to. And when I did the £10 million debt challenge, or was it £5 million debt challenge? I don't remember the number. I know a bunch of you really enjoyed watching that. But for me, it was really weird having everything on hand and all the kit on hand and being able to do all of the things right out. You know, I had all of the tractors, all of the big, I didn't really need to buy anything as I went, unless I wanted to buy it for fun. What I had was a whacking great loan to pay off. And, you know, I could pay that off at whatever pace I wanted because I didn't have something like enhanced loan system like we have now. So I didn't have to make a loan payment every month. So there was no pressure there. And I knew with that save that once milk production hit, we'd just blast our way through that, no problem. And then at some point I'd have money to do things like the giant silage harvests I was doing, and it would all cascade and spiral, and we'd very quickly be debt free. I had a plan on there. I knew it would execute, and I really wasn't that bothered. If we had, right at the start, massive loan payments to make, that would have been a completely different problem, you know? We'd have been in a world of pain right from the start. And I'd have probably had to approach that totally differently. I couldn't have gone with a long-term strategy. We'd have been having to try and make money right from the start. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, other than... And it's weird because I don't always enjoy playing hard games. I started a new Timberborn save last night, and I was feeling pretty shit last night, to be honest. I had a bit of a mental health wobble in the afternoon, and spent a little while curled up in a ball feeling like utter rubbish. Pulled myself out of that and it's fired up a bit of the beaver game, because the beaver game is how we fix things. And I started to play, and I was looking around the map and I was like, how am I going to deal with this? How am I going to deal with that? And I was playing on the hard version of that. And I was like, I just can't be bothered to work this out. And I put it away. I don't always want to play hard things. And sometimes when I'm playing that game, I will put it on easy mode, and I'll put it on normal mode, which is relatively easy. And I'll play the game for fun. But I'll get about halfway through and go, this is really easy. And it becomes less enjoyable because there's no challenge there. And that's the thing with Farm Sim. I think, for me, there's no real challenge in this game. I am just going through the process of repeatedly doing the same task. And I mean, one of the things I really enjoy in this game is that it's ploughing. That's a therapeutic task for me. But to repeatedly make videos of that, I have to have something to talk about. Today, I have a topic that's jumped into my head that I really want to talk about. But every video is not always so easy. And I'm trying to make a lot of videos at the moment, and that's a different topic. That's a problem in that I have a lot of games I want to make content on, and it's really hard to work out which game to drop making content on. So, yeah. Red tape mod. Are you using it? Do you enjoy it? Do you think it adds a nice challenge to the game? Are there any other mods like that that you're using that add complexity and challenge? Because I think I need that. It will slow down progress, potentially, as I work out how to do things with it. But I think it will make it more fun. Yeah, if you're curious about Kinlag, I've got a video's worth of footage stored up, so those are going to come back soon. And probably what I'll do is I'll get a couple of videos stored up, and then I'll start making those again. As I say, work's really busy at the moment, and I'm having to be a little bit tactical about the videos that I make. And sometimes I'm just going to make the videos that are doing the best, which means sometimes there aren't going to be that many Farm Sim videos in a week. It's a balance. It's a balance. And like the week before last, when I spent a day at Lama, but like 2 days traveling. I didn't then want to spend a load of time making Farm Sim videos because I dedicated a lot of time to Farm Sim. I know, it's how my brain processes stuff. Anyway, yeah. Adding complexity to this save. Yes, we will progress slower, but hopefully we'll have more fun along the way, and it's about the memories we make, isn't it, folks? Or some bollocks like that. So we're going to finish the sugar beet. We're going to go feed the cows, because the cows are unhappy. In that process, we are going to get some mineral feed delivered, because we are going to start doing the feeding a bit more properly, which is going to be a bit slower, but you know, that's fine. Yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are. We've possibly got milk to sell, but I'll maybe do that off camera. Maybe we'll put in... the base game dairy is so cruddy, though. And we can't really afford to buy anything at the moment. But. So, helps if you turn the sugar beet harvester. Why did they lease me this thing? You'd have thought they'd have at least given me like a 10-minute primer, wouldn't you? This is how you use the big expensive machine. Don't break it, please. But yeah, we'll do it. Load of food. Oh geez, we've got a lot of milk to sell. We've got 18,000 litres of milk to sell. That's a lot of cash. That's a lot of cash. I had wanted to turn this field around, but some idiot has dumped a load of sugar beet in it, so we can't do that yet. We do need to fertilise the field that had maize in last time. It's not going to have maize in next time. And we need to mow our pasture. So we've got plenty of work to do still in October. And gonna leave it on ×5. I am going to try and start introducing some of the things to make it more interesting. Yeah, let's try and turn up the pressure a little bit, folks. If I'm doing faff, like messing with settings, stuff like that, I won't have it on ×5, or I'll do that in the night time. Bit like with Schedule 1, where we have the once it hits 4 AM time becomes infinite bit. But when we're doing actual farming, I will try and keep the time pressure on to make it interesting again. Maybe I should dig out the old VF realism experiment rules. We'd have to go back to like an FS19 video of his, maybe. But that was my second series that I ever did, was Sandy Bay, using his rules. And I loved that series. Loved that series. Using Maize Plus. So much fun. Right. Yes, there are a few tiny mist patches. I do not care. Begone, sugar beet harvester. One does not remember the brand. Agrifag. Of course it is. It's an Agrifag. Right. You be gone. We need to jump in the truck. No, I'm not going to stop tabbing before you ask. It's just it won't let me tab into the truck. So, and I can't be bothered to bring the map up. I don't consider that I'm not going to say realism, challenging. Let me in. Yeah, I don't consider that being more challenging than the whole tabbing, not tabbing thing, because farmers realistically don't run 20 miles to get between vehicles repeatedly, or 3 or 4k to get between vehicles repeatedly. That's not a thing. So yeah. But we will take this back down to the farm. We need to see how much sugar beet we got, actually, as well. And I needed to have a massive coughing fit. Right. Many point turn. Many point turn. Let's tip that there. And let's go into the precision farming menu. Precisely here. Click here. Economic analysis, 312,000 litres. That number's utter rubbish. I think we can expect about double that. So that's pretty darn nice. Right. Let's park up here. Here, and here. The enemy will not expect us. Right. We're also still going to be having stuff delivered. I'm not one for doing the whole driving to the store every bloody time. Pallet forks. I think these are a front loader tool. We want to get some telehandler pallet forks as well. So, into the store. Let's just quickly check the sales. I know we're broke, but I'm still going to check the sales. Always be checking the sales, folks. You never know what's it. There's a pressure washer. I've never brought a pressure. Damn it! I'm going to buy a pressure washer. I've never used a pressure washer in FS25 yet. What I'm actually looking for is if no, they do not have what we need. So, telehandler tools, pallet forks. Yes, please. I don't know if we can afford to buy mineral feed. Pallet of mineral feed, £1,000 for 1,500 litres. Let's get 3 of those delivered. We are now very poor, but we can fix being very poor. Let's get this put away. Now we can wash our vehicles. I'm going to put it just here next to the grain dryer. And we're going to park that. And everything else is parked. Brilliant. So we've got milk we can sell to get cash. I'm going to do that in a bit because I think we should probably feed the cows first. So let's get the feed mixer out. I need to get fuel for this darn tractor as well. I don't want to do an Adam. Anyone remember just that Adam? Anyone remember what he was known for? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Right. Let's empty the bucket. And then go get a little bit of mineral feed. So I'm just going to check the feed mixes. I will keep an eye on to make sure I don't break the recording this time. So I jump out. I have not broken the recording, I don't think. Show feed mixes. Mineral feed can be 20%, but we're not doing 20%. That would cost the earth. Are you mad, man? Are you mad? Well, let's do some potatoes. Yes, after the debacle last time when I tried to open that, I removed the keyboard shortcut, which used the same keys to switch one of the scenes in OBS, so we shouldn't have that problem anymore. But I'm also keeping my eye on things. Right, potatoes. Check. We'll need to put the mineral feed away, but I think we'll go for a very tiny amount of mineral feed. Like about that much. Just a dash of minerals. Get him right in the minerals. And we need a bale of hay. And a bale of hay. do that. Need 2 telehandlers for this now. Jeez. There we go. And hay bale. Gonna need a bit more reach. No, maybe not. Wasn't that high. Careful. Don't knock your stacks over. That's a good one. Yeah, we've got the hay caps on top of the hay bales. Don't worry, folks. They're fine in the rain. So, yeah. Oh, just not quite. Not quite. You. Good stuff. Oh, come. Job. I guess the other way would be to put something on the loader tractor, but the loader tractor is tiny. Or to upgrade the loader tractor. And we need a lot of silage. I will do, basically what I'm going to do is put about half a mixer wagon in each shed. So that you don't have to watch me do a lot of feeding. And then I think we'll do some spreading on the grass field just to finish up. I think that'll be fun. And a nice little end to the video. And that way we won't have just done sugar beet harvesting. We should be able to get that done for today, and then in October 2 we will cut the grass, and that'll be good. That'll be good. I should probably check the weather forecast actually. So we might need to cut the grass today if we're being cognizant of things. And let's have a quick peek at the old weather. October 2 is going to be okay by the looks of it. So we are almost full, so let's just grab a bit more silage. We do have TMR, which is nice. Do you know a mod that I miss? In fact, it's I remember Tana mentioned him at Lama. Alien Jim's buildable buildings pack, or whatever it was called, and this cheap silo that was part of that, that we used on the competitive multiplayer that Kartek and I did. And again, it was one that I used on that Sandy Bay save that I mentioned. I'm reminded because I used it to do bulk storage of TMR and bulk mixing of TMR. Very realistically, I would dump all of the ingredients into that and then spend the winter bulk mixing TMR. So that in the summer, when farming was busy, I could just grab trailers full of food. I know. Not very realistic, but got the job done. Oh, I'm really coughing rather a lot tonight, which is kind of annoying when you're trying to do the talky thing. Right, could now have enough food for a little while. I'll do them a speed before they go to sleep. I will sell the milk later as well. And we are going to spread manure. No comments on the football team and such, because I don't give a about football. I just thought it sounded funny. Let's back you up. Hey, there's our little tractor. Well, this should be in a shed. I'm sure it used to live in a shed. Put it, no, we're just going to put it here for now. And it'll be in a way for something else in a little bit, no doubt. Anyway, oh, that's full of lime. Brilliant. Great. That's better. Yes, we have lime. I don't think we can empty lime. Let's go put lime on a sugar beet field. Hey, smart. Yes, me smart. That sounds like a good plan. Problem solved. I'm pretty sure it won't last long because that field needs a lot of lime. So, yeah, it'll be fine. Adapt and overcome, folks. Adapt and overcome. There's only like 2,000 odd litres of lime, so yeah, we'll probably be fine. Off we go. Let's just dump all this out. Really need to get fuel. I'm sure you've heard that somewhere before. Remind me of that when I'm sat on the side of the field with no fuel in the tractor. Yeah. It's generally best if you really push to the limit of not having any fuel in the tractor. I think I've seen that proven in a stream before, some time ago. Yeah, we'll start working on getting lime back in this field. That'll be a good thing to do. That'll be a good thing to do. And hey, why not that be thumbnail? Yeah. That can be thumbnail. Job's good. But yeah, we need to get rid of this stuff, so that'll do that job. And then we'll maybe make a start on spreading the manure. I have no idea how long I've been rambling to you guys at this point, but we can go a little bit longer, I feel. So yeah. How you doing? Yeah. Come here often? Hopefully you do. There seems to be a regular core of you who still come and hang out while I talk bollocks and play the farming game, so yeah. Oh, I have a fine hotel room tonight. It has a window that doesn't quite shut properly. I've just worked out how to get the heater to work, I hope. Because it's quite cold here. It's not US cold. I saw some pictures of the various places in the US and how cold it is. I'm not talking about the political cold. We're not going to go there. The weather cold. And yeah, the temperatures there are insane. But yeah, we're not going to do the political cold stuff because no. Go around the pile of sugar beet. And then we'll just turn it back on and run down here. We're obviously going to have to bring a whole load of lime back to this field to finish sorting the pH out, but I just wanted to get it empty so that we could put manure in it. There we go. Good stuff. And we need to A, empty the manure pit out because it's getting quite full, and then 2, fix the nitrogen on the cover crop before we mow it next month. So yeah, it's a double whammy. But that grass, I think, is fully grown. I think. And one doesn't look like there's much here. There's about 106,855 litres in there, give or take. Give or take. They're using some sort of quantum compression techniques to actually fit all of that in there. Doesn't look like there's much going in the manure spreader, though. You know? The manure spreader looks quite devoid of manure, which is interesting. Which was the style at the time. As long as it applies, we kind of don't care. So yeah, let's just chuck that on the field, get that fertilized, and we'll be good. So it needs a fair bit of nitrogen. Interestingly, it's applying it for wheat when we have grass in the field. But we need 65 kilograms per, and it's applying more, which is fine. Oh, I didn't unpark me tractor. Yeah, kind of weird. Change reference value. Oh, corn, sorghum, grass. Okay, there we go. Awesome. I'm not going to worry about making sure we get exactly into the corners and all of that. As long as it's mostly covered, we'll be fine. This is bonus grass after all. So, yeah. Now, for all of my rambling earlier about wanting things to be harder, one of the things that I'm not going to get ever anal about is the environmental bonus and making sure that I get exactly maximum yield off of a field. And that's entirely because the game doesn't really facilitate that well. So, yeah. I'm not going to go chasing freaking unicorns around trying to achieve that. For some things, life is too short, folks. For some things, life is too short. And that is one of them. Because that's not about complexity. That's just the game being a bit jank. In my opinion. So, yeah, you know. And as I say, opinions are alike. We've all got them. You just choose to come and watch mine. Yes, that makes you slightly weird. You're a bit of a wrong one. You may even be one of the ones that pays extra. And I appreciate you. I really do. But you are a bit of a wrong one if you're paying extra to watch my on the internet. They're genuine. I really do appreciate the patrons and the YouTube channel members. You are awesome, but hey, my sense of humor is slightly. But that's why some of you are here, so. And at least we're covering this field rather quickly in poop. Just like my jokes. According to some of my family. Some of them appreciate them, some of them not so much. really hope that heater kicks in soon. It is rather chilly in here, but I could put a jumper on. But I'm really, well, actually it depends. Sometimes at home, I really, really like having a hoodie on. Sometimes at home, and I'm not at home now anyway, but I'd really rather not have a hoodie on. And I'd really rather not have a hoodie on this evening. No, she needs to go and have a shower. I made my grand return to the gym today after I've had 2 weeks of doing no exercise. I haven't run properly in 6 weeks, which is not good. We should be endeavouring to address that this week as well. Partly sparked on by a random conversation with our vet. Yeah, I know. So I've been really struggling with running motivation for about 6 weeks. Who'd have thunk it, eh? And we had to take the new dog to the vet last week. Just for his checkup and his booster injections. Nothing serious. And for some reason, well, because he's a greyhound, running was mentioned. And I mentioned that I'd taken him running a couple of times, and the vet said, "You run?" And I was like, "Yeah, I run ultra marathons." And he's like, "I run ultra marathons." And so we ended up chatting about ultra marathons. And that kind of gave me the spark to get my ass moving again, because I hadn't run in weeks at that point. So yeah, that was kind of cool. I knew he ran, because there've been a few occasions where he wasn't available because he was out of the country running ultra marathons in crazy parts of the world, because my nursing staff would say, "Oh, he's in whatever country doing stuff." So yeah, that was kind of cool, and we bonded over running, because I think he yeah, it was fun. But it's given me the kick up the butt. I was due to be running an ultra marathon in February, which I have deferred for a few months. And so I'm hoping that between now and then I can get my fitness back, and maintain the little spark of motivation I've got. So although the new dog is a greyhound, and no, greyhounds don't need lots of exercise, they are sprinters. They will tear around for a few minutes and then sleep for 23 hours a day, or 23.8 hours a day. They're a very lazy dog. But I want to try and get him so that he can come out on some of my runs with me. And I spoke to the vet about it. Before anyone gets all, "Oh, you just said he's a sprinter and you run long distances." Spoken to the vet about it, and he was like, "No, it'll be fine. Just introduce him to it slowly. He's a young dog. He's a fit dog." And our other 2 greyhounds, which were big dogs. I used to run a few miles with those, and they were older when I started doing it with them. So yeah, I'm hoping I can get him so that he can come running with me a few times a week as well, which will be cool. And it'll make things a little bit easier in terms of getting him his exercise while I get me my exercise, which we both need. Yeah, so that's that. We're nearly done with this job. Once we finish this job, that's going to be it, folks. I will get the cow some more feed between videos, and that's probably all I'll do. I'll maybe do the run up to the dairy and get the milk sold, and then we'll come back with the grass work and maybe red tape added in, depending on what you guys think. And I'll maybe turn on some of the features of realistic livestock, just to make things more interesting. I remember when I was doing my Sandy Bay series, it's like trying to get the jobs done, even the time crunch, made things a bit more interesting because, you'd be collecting bales into the night because the time was running. And I mean, it was kind of sucky sometimes from a making videos point of view, um, because you'd be doing it at night, and that isn't great from or finish doing it after the video because by the time you get into the night, it's not great for watching. Um, but yeah, and it was one of the reasons that over time I stopped doing the whole fixed clock thing because you realize that actually, really, I'm like a teenager. Once it gets dark, it makes a less good video. It was one of my pet hates with a not farm sim creator that I used to watch in the game that he used to play. That he would almost always be as a Stormworks creator. He would almost always be playing at night, and you couldn't see anything. And it's like, well, maybe try play during the day. Anyway, that's just about it, folks. So hope you enjoyed that slightly whatever it was. Thanks for watching. Comments, thoughts, questions, suggestions, recommendations for a good therapist. I'm only slightly I am joking. Yeah, stick them all below, and next time we'll carry on with some farming. Carry on farming. Oh, they made that one, did they? I don't think they made carry on farming. That'd have maybe worked. That'd have maybe worked as a film. Yeah. Anyway, I will see you all next time.